Potential shades of jealousy being really showcased here, and maybe even not jealousy, but it's more of just the interest, I guess. But I'm gonna I'm gonna label it as jealousy, coming directly from Saki's side, but even Shiori's side at the end of the day, with each of them taking an interest or having a speculation towards the feelings that we end up seeing with Yuta and him towards either party involved, depending on whose perspective we're kind of going from here. So it was interesting because last episode was really different. Like it was just kind of weird, I guess, the way that they almost decided to go about it, but really intriguing. And I'm very excited now to actually see like what comes as a result of this. If it's going to make Shiori put herself, kick herself into gear a little bit more and maybe make more of an effort to make her feelings and intentions and stuff a little bit more out there. And maybe she doesn't have those. And maybe she just like feels more of the vibe coming directly from Saki and wants to pull herself back and decide this isn't something I want to pursue or go into, but she's at least kind of taking note of that. So this gives her an opportunity to decide where she's at and what she needs to do. While Saki, on the other hand, after coming into the store and observing and also figuring out about the date and everything else that went down, can now also start really maybe understanding her feelings a little bit more and being like, why do I feel this way? And then start being like, actually, this would make a lot of sense why I'm actually feeling this way, and then maybe making a decision on that sort of part and coming to terms with that a little bit. And I think that'll be a cool way for us to really go into this thing here. But it's going to be weird because Saki doesn't directly ever really have her feelings showcased to us unless we go with a sequence like we did with her diary and everything almost from before. But this is another 3-episode mark, so I guess there's a possibility of that occurring once again here, almost like if we do a full volume type of thing. This is like a compilation of all that stuff into one. I don't know. I'm interested because the actual full direction of everything that we set up, I feel like hasn't been to there just yet. That makes me really curious exactly what they're going to portray for us here. I hope you guys enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe. The amount to be, feel free to stick around for discussion. Let me comments to this episode of series going with the 6th episode of Days of My Stepsister. Is that Shiori's name? Or is that Maya? Maya. Is Maya her name? Oh, I can't remember. Now I'm going to feel like an idiot if I'm wrong. I think it is. Can you help us with that? It's so loud. Okay, you're an expert. That's cute. Thanks, buddy. That's cute. Sweet and sour pork and rain. Yeah, not a shocker. It rains every damn day in this show. Why? We both go to the same exact school. What do you want to talk about? So, by relation, we're hanging out. What is she recording back there? That's fair. It is Maya. Okay, cool. It's just her. What if we like flip this and make things really interesting and make Maya interested in him too? And then all the girls are interested in him, and then Saki's really at a loss for what to do. What if? That'd be crazy. She feels so different here when she actually takes it serious and tones down a bit. You can cook? Is Maya gonna be staying here for us? Okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well.
ああ、飲み物なら冷蔵庫から好きに。
違うよ。浅村くんの様子を見に来たの。なんか苦戦してない？あとはもう反復学習でいけそうだよね。うん、おかげさまで。じゃあ、
Alright, this gives us the perfect shot.
ちょっと浅村くんの料理手伝うから。え？あ、うん。でもそこまでマーヤに頼るわけには。いいからいいから。マーヤちゃんの主婦パワー見せつけてやろうじゃありませんか。
Role playing already.
そう。
Teaching us everything. But she said she had a lot of siblings, right? So she probably has to go through and do all this stuff anyways on a daily. So none of this comes as even new for her. Except for the idea that everybody's the same age as her instead. Listening to the music. You're doing the thing, buddy. You're doing the thing. These scenes are so fucking excellent. Every time they do them. When they just montage through something to really convey something. Just having like a simple piano in the background is all that's needed.
本当にさっきとは何もないの？
あったらダメでしょ。
でもほぼ他人だよね。血のつながりもないしさ。
なんでそんなに俺と綾瀬さんの関係を？
There could be a variety of
言われると
reasons.
困るんだけど、なんとなくさっきが変わったような気がするんだよね。
And you might be the cause for that.
例えばさ、さっき使ってる香水の量が増えてるんだよ。気づいてた？よ
全然。
かった。気づいてたらちょっと。
Sniffing her a little bit too much.
今年は多くなってると。
そう、これは好きな人を意識しての行動に違いないと名探偵マヤちゃんの勘はつけてるわけだよ。ワタソンくん。
へえ。
反応うっさ。もうあの
Entertain me
可愛い子に
more.
意識されてるかもって聞かされてなんとも思わないの？
Yeah, well, that super cute girl happens to be a
意識さ
sister.
れても当然だとしか。
やっぱり相思相愛なんだ。
違くて。他人に等しい異性と同じ家で暮らしてるんだから、匂いに気を使おうって考えてもおかしくないでしょ。
ねえほら、さっきこっち見てる。
I'm wondering why you guys are so close together. I don't think she's necessarily just watching him.
奈良坂さん声大きいし。
Yeah, that too.
絶対ラブなやつだと思うけどな。
それリアルの友達にやりすぎると鬱陶しがられるよ。
残念。さっきはとっくにうざがってます。
She's stuck.
ナイスタイミー。マーヤクッキング終了の時間だよ。
Anything past this point, you must pay for it.
おいしい。
気に入ってもらえて。
She didn't even stay and eat with us.
すぐ立って。
She went through all that.
なんか気使ってもらっちゃったみたい。
That's crazy.
鋭いな。
の気持ち普通に嬉しい。
うん。勉強の調子はどう？
おかげさまでマーヤに作ってもらった問題も完璧に解けた。
よかった。
It's great progress.
私の勉強法遠回りすぎて効率悪くないって驚かれたけど。
実際最短距離のやり方。
Everybody has different ways, though. Whatever works.
うまくやれてる。明日の本番もきっと大丈夫だから。
そっか。応援してるよ、綾瀬さん。
ありがとうね。
Even though we've only seen her like really studying maybe like twice over the span of these episodes, it's been such a big topic and been such like a focus of a thing that like you actually feel the impact almost like that she really has been putting in the effort and trying. Gotta make sure she passes.
大丈夫。
そっか。じゃあまた明日。
うん。
I'm curious in his friend. Can we become better friends with him so I can learn? This seems like an interesting guy. I'm not even sure what happened there.
すみません。
Was it like something where he got less money for the thing that they sold than he was supposed to? And he didn't like pay attention? Such a weird perspective to get from inside of the room instead of in the kitchen. Rain and no Saki home. Okay, that's bad, yeah. Just prolong and get longer and longer before he gets to figure anything out. Hmm. Where are you? Real panic from brother. A classic.
ごめん、大丈夫？
Not in this weather.
ああ、いや、
Back down, I
その帰りが遅くて、
You got worried.
雨もすごいし、連絡もつかなかったから。
Also, it was probably really rough because she was just like, it was fine. Like, she didn't really go into detail. Yeah. Yeah. We had the whole incident too before with almost getting hit by the bus and everything. All of that really adds up. But was it good enough? Oh, that's really good. You weren't going to.
驚かせないでよ。
心配させてごめん。いつもと違うお店で買い物してて。
わざわざ
As a big old thank you for all the help.
して豪華になりたいとか。
Yeah, she did.
半分正解で半分不正解。
模範解答は？
浅村くんへのお礼。こんな言い方すると妙に恩着せがましく聞こえるかもしれないけど、一応本音の音楽を教えてくれたり、現代文のコツを教えてくれたり。
いろいろってほどじゃ。
昨日は夕飯まで作ってくれた。
1ヶ月以上ほとんど食事を作ってくれた労力にはまだまだ。
The balance of how you weigh your own actions versus what other people do for you.
多めに。今日はさ、浅村くんにできるだけ贅沢な料理をやりたい。それとも年上の先輩じゃないと素直に頼れない？
読売先輩のこと、どうしてここで先輩が出てくるの？
浅村くんが背中を預けてる相手、私が知ってる限りだとあの人ぐらいだなって。
Yeah.
それはまあバイトでシフトが被るから。
Right, but you go to her for like everything.
バイト先であの人にそうしてる。
Go to her for a job, for help with her studying. You guys want to go out, you know?
ほら、妹のわがままだと思って てくれない？
兄として今日のところは素直にごちそうになればミッション達成なのかな。
Close enough.
そうしてくれたら嬉しい。
いるんだろうな俺たち。
It's not even moving? I
早く帰ろう。
didn't even realize that the whole time we were having a conversation in there. It just didn't move.
そういえばもう一つだけ聞いてもいいかな。
何？
送ったメッセージなんだけど。
ああ、それね。浅村くんに教えてもらった音楽。スマホの電池みるみる溶けてくの。
Shit, Dad.
明日から夏休みですが、羽目を外しすぎないように。さよなら。
Summer vacation, baby. Study arc is over for the time being. What are we gonna get up to?
バイトがあるからね。
その調子だと悩みは晴れたようだな。
そんなとこ。ん？
Am I seeing this correct? Did she walk in there?
浅村君、疲れたら遠慮しないで少し休んだ方がいいよ。
We talked about this.
あの
We talked about this was gonna happen last week. That's funny. That's a great way to do it.
の面接なんだよ。
Oh, okay, okay.
名
I
前
thought she already got it.
綾瀬さんか。
I wonder what her reasoning is for changing it. That was great. I had a lot of fun. I usually do, to be fair, with the show. But it kind of direction I think I almost expected. It seems like we're going threes with how long it takes them to likely adapt to volume. So this is probably a full volume, and this entire 3-episode set comes down to studying and kind of moving past that and a bunch of other things kind of in between it as we get to see growth, especially on Saki's part, with being able to be open a bit more and accepting of the help and the things and stuff that she receives with others, not thinking of everything as transactional, as transactional, two as's in there, but being able to kind of accept the things that she's kind of being given and all that, but understanding maybe like reward somebody or do something at the end to maybe make yourself feel a little better, like as an appreciation or thank you and stuff for them, as we get to see pay off by the end of this. But I wanted to do something a little bit more special than what she usually would with dinner, but being a bit more accepting of letting, you know, Asamara be like, I'm gonna cook today, and just sitting down and accepting that he does just want you to pass and do all these things, and you can kind of live your life like that, and you don't need to constantly be doing all this other shit. So it comes out really nice, which I really enjoy and definitely appreciate. And we do get to see constantly throughout these couple episodes the growth, especially on her part, and her own feelings, and then putting things with Shiori kind of mixed in there as well, and then multiple hints directly from Maya this episode, and from just visual cues and things that we can kind of pick up on leading into it. I mean, especially with her showing up and wanting to work here where we do, and I mean her constant appearances at the place and everything as well, and her asking questions about his own relationship and bringing up Shiori at some later point as well, like all that stuff compiled into it. You can start seeing the own growth and development and stuff that's kind of coming through on her own mind and feelings, especially when it comes towards Yuto. So all that stuff, it did a nice job at slowly kind of progressing it while not maybe making it the most like obvious. And by I say not making it the most obvious, I more so mean just like directly speaking on it or telling us, and instead just kind of having their normal conversations and stuff with another person, because it's similar. That's how things naturally would kind of unfold. If these things were changing within you and who you were being as a person, or you were acting out in like different ways or whatever, they'd all be things that other people around you would kind of notice and would maybe speak to somebody else, or you would speak to and just randomly bring up and stuff to somebody. Like in a situation where it has to almost be overly like explained and dumbed down and directly like placed in your lap and be like, look, this is what they're doing, this is how they're changing, this is how they're viewing things now instead, and can instead just have each person continuously act as their own individual and everything as well. Pretty cool. There's really not much I want to grab onto and say here, so this this was going to be relatively short, but that's perfectly okay. Intro sequence, the boy just being like, I can help you out. You know, if you got any problems, I'm here to talk to you, which is sweet. And we always do appreciate and love that. And I'd like to get a little bit more of him at some other point. We get some more Maya screen time, which is great as well. She's interesting. Sometimes I like characters like her, sometimes I don't, and it's hard to get a gauge on her. I like her design a lot, and I don't mind her as a person or anything. It's just something with her voice I don't like. I don't know. Usually I can get behind them, and it depends, but it's just something with hers in specific that they're doing here that just like comes off more, I don't know, like it comes off when she calls him like big brother and everything makes sense. Like it tracks with her voice, but it just feels like everything else that she does and says like kind of just feels like too over the top and annoying for me. I don't know really how to describe it, but it's interesting. So yeah, we end up coming home. She feels a little bit bad because she's like, well, I'm bringing this annoying loud motherfucker into your home, and you're probably gonna want to enjoy your day off and everything, so that's a bit unfortunate. But it's nice to see like this. I love this. It's the toned down version of Maya that we get, and her actually focusing and wanting to help out Saki, wanting to see that success and seeing her succeed here, without actually acting out and putting on this other persona and everything that she ends up usually doing, until Yuto's like, yeah, I'm gonna make dinner, and he has no clue what the fuck he's doing, so Maya has to come and help us. And she kind of messes around with him a little bit. It's very playful, it's very fun, and she drops some stuff on us as well as this whole conversation is kind of occurring and continuing on, about like Saki kind of changing with the way that she acts, or her excess like of wearing perfume and all this other stuff that hasn't been situations and, you know, what she's kind of noticed somebody who's constantly around her in the past before. So what the fuck's going on now? It only is occurred, especially after this happened. So I don't think it's just a difference in mentality of like, I grew up, I became like another age or something, or I went to a new school, or I started something and I wanted to change. It more so came like something specific came into my life that I'm conscious of, and I'm altering the things that I'm doing, which is what we all kind of do with things, whether you really realize it or you don't. Most of the time you do, you tend to do certain things in hopes that it will kind of either please, satisfy, linger on somebody else's mind, whatever it is that you're kind of doing, and you are aware and conscious of those kind of around you. So if it's something as simple as the way that you smell, it could just be something like that to try and get that lasting scent in some sort of way, get that reminder, get that feeling that whenever he's around her, he can kind of remember that, and it gives him like this clear vision and picture of her mind every time that he ends up smelling it, and it can kind of invoke certain emotions and stuff kind of into you. It's like a little trap that you can kind of play with things, but it's more of like her just wanting to be more presentable and everything around him, which is like another thing that they are presenting in a way where it's not directly being like, hey, we're only doing this because she really likes you and because she like all of this. She's still uncertain completely with their feelings, but we are showcasing signs here of being like, hey, look what she's doing. She is consciously doing a lot of these things, and while she might not be able to apply that properly and understand the emotions of why she's doing that, we as the viewer can kind of add that up and make plenty of sense out of it, which I like the way they do it. And I just love the entire sequence where we get the help directly from Maya here of her doing all this. And it reminds me a lot, because I'm pretty sure we mentioned, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe that she has a lot of siblings and a whole bunch of shit. So if she does, especially all younger than her and everything, instead she has somebody who's like good athletically, or she's good when it comes to being around people, and she's also good when it comes to cooking, now we find out, and she's good academically. So like all this stuff, she has to make time and effort to do all these things, but we get to see and understand the reasons why, and her constant ability to be able to help and probably tutor and make others, you know, her siblings and everybody else kind of study or do homework or whatever they have to, and probably prepare meals and stuff for them, all comes to light here when we get to see that. And it feels like she does drop her attitude a little bit, or drop her like a little over the top personality a little bit when she wants to end up having like a bit more of a serious conversation. And then she kind of messes around still and teases him a bit throughout it, but it is nice to see those a few different sides. This is a crazy shit. Filling up the entire thing. I think she's just conscious of it. Look, she's looking directly at you. And I think it's more she's like, why the hell is this other girl? Why is my friend sticking so close to you? What's going on there? But it could just be directly like looking at him and looking away the moment the other person looks at you. Out of sheer embarrassment. I do wonder if we'd ever go the route where we're trying to get Maya involved as somebody who's intrigued in Asmara. I don't think so, but if we did, that'd be funny for me, just because it'd be like every single person in the story, and Saki has no clue how to navigate this at all. I think would be great. Then it'd stick around, which is a bit unfortunate, I think, but That is okay. A bit of a roundabout way when it comes to doing things and maybe inefficient, but it's working for me and she's kind of pleased with that. So it's a great thing. She's able to actually say thank you and all these things that she might have not been able to before and kind of just accept it, which is pretty sweet. It's bugging him. You can see it's kind of weighing on his mind what's kind of going on, not knowing exactly how to react or feel. This, I don't know what happened in this scene. So he's working, and then this guy came and he like paid for something, and then he was like, "Oh fuck, what the hell?" Afterwards, so the dude just like put down the money, and he was like, "Yo, I don't like this wasn't enough, or what was it? I don't know." So he's completely thrown off his game, is all they're trying to really indicate and direct at us here, with not knowing how Saki's results went because she didn't come out and just directly communicate that to him and instead just kind of tried to hide around a little bit. And all the thoughts kind of go through his mind. What the hell could have happened to her? I mean, we literally saw her almost get hit by a fucking train at one point, or a bus. And then now she's stuck out in the storm and all this, and she's not coming home, and she's not answering her text, and I don't know what to do. And he's losing his mind completely. And he's like, fuck, I gotta go get her. I can't let this happen until we run into her. And have a sweet little conversation here inside of the elevator where we find out she actually did extremely fucking well, but it wasn't as good as him. And now she's very frustrated with herself, which is a good thing too. You know, we don't want her to be content with getting like a 60 and being like, I did good, I just passed. You know, like you still want to excel and do good, and she wants to do even better than the other person that she's around, because then she's like, holy fuck, like maybe they don't, you know, maybe they really feel like it was worth tutoring them at the end of the day. But having a bit more of that competitive spirit, I think, within her is a great thing. And then going out of her way here to get us something, and that's why she ended up not coming home, and that's why she was gone for so long. Ended up being because she wants to celebrate in a way of, I actually did good, I worked towards this, and I was able to do this, but also I'm very thankful and grateful for the help and everything that you've kind of provided me all this time. So I want to do something a little bit more special, especially for the days and time that I have to end up skipping and not being able to help you or fulfill whatever this contract in a way that we kind of have together is, due to my lack of being able to help out with my studying and everything. So let me kind of repay that in like this big grand kind of thing, which is extremely sweet of her. If I let you do that, is that a success? Yeah, absolutely. That would make me fucking thrilled. So we go back in and everything is good. We're going on summer break, and that's where we'll move into, likely for the next 3 volumes would be my guess, entirely all on summer break as Saki ends up coming for an interview. We assume this was going to happen. I assume she was just going to have the job. She's definitely going to get the job. There's no way she's just going to show up for an interview and not have it. But it could be, one, she needs the money. It's not exactly the high paying, low hour job and everything that she wanted before, which does showcase, you know, there's possibly a change in attitude in that. Also could just be because there is no school, so she doesn't really have to study or anything for the summer, so maybe she only wants to do this for then. But also could be an indication towards she is very cautious of Shiori, especially with her being brought up. They talked about that in the elevator and everything as well, so could be conscious of that and wanting to be a kind of older senpai in some sort of way. She wants to like fulfill this role as much as she can and feel that she can be reliable on, so it allows her in a more of a position to constantly be around you, so whenever these situations kind of arise that you have those opportunities, but also she can keep more of an eye on you and your relationship with her, without having to bug you about it. And she can also pick the brain of Shiori a little bit more too. It gives her like so many different options that she can really go into here. Pretty sick, fun, as always. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe to me. Feel free to check out the videos and channel and comments of this sort of series. I'll be back for episode 7 next week. It was a great one. Peace.